Welcome to Tech Topics brought to you by Cybervenger. We help keep small businesses stay protected and compliant with cutting-edge cybersecurity and IT solutions.
Hello everyone, my name is Andy. I'm the Managing Consultant for Cybervenger. Today we're doing another deep dive into the 110 controls of the NIST 800-171. This set of controls is to protect controlled unclassified information used by anyone doing business with the Department of Defense or other federal departments. Got videos on all of that. You want to check those out. Today, let's take a look down here at our list of controls, and you'll see it's 3.13.6. And it says very plainly, deny network communication traffic by default and allow network communication traffic by exception. It just goes on and says, basically reiterates the same thing in the second cell. So, to give you an idea of what rules would classically look like, I went to sonicguard.com, credit to them for showing what a sonic wall looks like. These are sonic wall rules down here. And the way rules work on many network devices is you're going to have a list of rules from top to bottom down here. Usually they have a priority on them. This is scrambled out of order. Let's pretend that these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I just realized I grabbed a poor example. But let's pretend that's what they are. If you see the deny here at the bottom, this is the way your rule set would want to look. It would go through, try and find a match of something. Like if you had port 80, there's your name, there's your different type of traffic it would allow. And then that would go through. And those are the things that you would allow by exception, and then when it hit the bottom of your processing, it would hit deny everything else. So anything that doesn't match those rules would be denied by default. You wouldn't have to say, let's deny port 80. If port 80 is not allowed, it's denied. That's how the rules kind of work, and it works from lowest priority number. It works all the way down to highest, the highest number. So the last entry in the list is the last rule that gets processed unless your traffic hits a rule above it and applies to it. So if a rule applies to traffic, it's going to follow that rule first. So you got to be careful how you do these rule-based ACLs. There's a lot of videos out there on how rule-based access control works. That's what it's called, rules-based access control. Every firewall, every switch that I've ever worked with, well, I mean, not every, but pretty nearly every one works like this with this kind of access control. So it's very easy to put a rule that says deny all from all the time, and then above that rule you put in what you need. And that's what this rule, this NIST control is talking about, the 13.3.6. It just says that you need to deny by default. Now we've seen this exact same kind of logic elsewhere in this standard. You've seen it earlier when it talks about permissions. You want to deny people file permissions unless there's a good justification for why they should have access to it. Everybody should be denied by default and allowed by exception. This control here is reiterating that fact yet again when it talks about network access. Everybody everywhere should be denied unless allowed, right? Now, you may need wide open access for testing, wide open access for guests, that's fine, but those guest users should be on a separate network. We talked about that in the previous control, separating out your networks a little bit. And that way they can't, but they're denied access to anything inbound unless there's some specific reason. Now, that specific reason may not be good enough. You may have to have these users on a different network. Like a public user should never be able to access CUI no matter what. Your web server that's being publicly accessible, we talked about this in the previous control, should not be able to access anything internal unless, it absolutely has to reference some data to generate a web page or something, but only exactly what it needs and nothing more. It should be watched very carefully. So deny by default for network traffic 2, that's pretty much all this says here. It's a very common and very sound piece of advice. This is definitely not security theater. It's a little redundant. We've seen this kind of language in this thing before, but I think it's a point worth reiterating, and apparently the framers of NIST agreed with me. So that's all I've got for this control. I will see you all in the next one. I hope it was helpful.
Thanks for watching. We hope this video has provided valuable information to you. Be sure to share this video with other small business owners to spread the word about the importance of cybersecurity. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this. If you want more information about cybersecurity, visit us at www.cybervenger.com.